This song is for those who inspire us today, who always lend a helping hand to help show us the way. This song is for those who see their students through the tough times in their lives. For that we say thank you. You have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those who heard the silent cries, who stepped in to wipe the tears from the children's eyes. For those who gave us a safe place to grow, a place for us to call our home. Forever we will know that you have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those who taught us right from wrong, who taught us much more than their craft to help our minds grow strong. This song is for those who guide us through and through, so that we can make a life. For that we say thank you. You have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. As I look back on my life and to the path within my reach, I hope I can change the life of those that I teach. I can make a difference. All I do is try to see a different world through the children's eyes. And I will always be there in everything I do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. And I will always be there in everything I do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those.
So good morning to all of my teachers and mentors. To begin, thank you for coming to the brunch this morning. It was wonderful to see everyone. Words cannot even describe how thankful I am for all of you. I appreciate your time, energy, and help and knowledge over the 12 years of my school career. I'm excited to further my career by attending American University in the fall. As I look around the room this morning, I recall a story about each of you, but due to time, I will share just a short memory. And for Kilmer, Miss Yoder, I remember your Beatrix Potter Tea Party. Miss Bednar, I remember you were the one who got me out from under a desk from being shy, and also I recall our conversations about a plastic bag you had in your car that you had to push your window up. Miss Cutler, your love of shoes, and I remember one time you stood up to me in front of a crowded class when we had parents all coming, and you stood behind me and made me feel less nervous while I was giving like a 2-page story about something that I wrote. Miss Dodd tutoring me in the morning for school, the brain tumor book every year, getting us involved in all that. Miss Barker tutoring me over since probably second and third grade all the way up to now. Mr. Redford, you were my first newspaper advisor. You started the Kilmer Club Chronicle, got me involved in the paper and interviewing people. Mr. Davis, our conversations about cars, vehicles, when I had that interest in cars, I could name every car on the road. Ms. Steelman, your help in math. Ms. Busby also assisting me in math problems. Dr. Molly calming me down before tests and listening to all my stories. Ms. Tomasetti making me multiplication, fact cards on just different cards because she knew that I knew all the makes and models. Ms. Clark helping me prepare for tests and math. My ROSA teachers, Ms. Marin, our talks about yard sales, antiquing, thrifting. Mr. McGovern, our JFK conversations, and you introduced me to John Denver music and history. Mr. Crone, me and Ms. Marin always thought you looked like Captain Parmenter from After. Thank you for all of your help in science, guiding me. Ms. Pennock, your love for John Mayer, all of our fun and advisory. Mr. Farkas, the fun projects. I recall the sandwich project where we all had to make a sandwich, and the different scenes that were set up in the Rosa Library where we all acted out a scene. Ms. Paul, your interesting stories during math. Ms. Halden, you're one of my newspaper advisors. Helped me with story ideas and managing editor. Ms. Lynn, sharing your interesting stories during English, math, and science, helping me through all quizzes and tests. Mrs. Farkas, your love of the show The Office and your Beatles posters. Miss Bush, your love of Bill Clinton and the Bill Clinton shirt and frame I gave you at the end of the year. Miss Barry, taking the time with me my first year ago, said, talking with me about the newspaper and, getting me to give you story ideas. For my West teachers, Miss Adamson, our Bernie and Hillary debates. Miss Can, not giving up on me in high school science. Miss Vitale, working with me every year to get the learning items that were needed in the classroom. Coach Gerst for coaching swimming, helping me prepare for meets, and being my Cherry Valley boss. And how about those Cherry Valley parties? Mr. Answer, our broadcasting conversations, all of your help guiding me in the field of broadcasting. Ms. Messias, all of the wonderful productions you put on, being there for me if I had a question, a concern. Mr. Ibanez, your funny stories, our talks about politics. Miss Liana, I always remember you with your Dunkin' Donuts hot tea in the morning as you came into math. Miss Rickensrud helping me during lunch breaks with just math questions, problems. Mr. Vanny, all of your Cookie Monster stories and helping me prepare for college, any questions I had about American. Miss McCarran, taking up your lunch break pretty much every day, helping me figure out problems for math and guiding me through quizzes. Miss Esposito, my newspaper mentor for my 3 years up and continuing. Just thank you for all of your help with the newspaper and helping me. You gave me my first column, Ask the Professionals, where I've gone out and interviewed all those other people around Cherry Hill in the community. Ms. Riley, you were new to the newspaper this year, and I thank you for bringing me new ideas and letting me be a part of the transition and all. And Ms. Farnett as well. I truly am grateful for all of your ideas. You helped me if I had questions about newspaper. Mr. DePatri, your interesting stories during English class. Ms. Rios, your singing and guitar playing during Spanish to make learning interesting. Mr. De Faria, helping me after school to go over Spanish verbs, the raisinets we give out in class. Miss Garrity, lunch break help, and the birthday certificate that you gave me for my birthday. Mr. Tully, your interesting stories and fun ways to make algebra too enjoyable. Miss Cooper, all of making Macbeth fun. I really enjoyed your class this year. Just all of your help. Miss Whitehead, your help with my college paper, all of your knowledge on college and helping me out with that. Mr. Rickard, all the history packets, your history lessons. Mr. Field, making AP government fun. Mr. Grillo, helping me and supporting me in science during junior year. Mr. Mark, for Pep Band, our rush conversations, our talks about politics. Mrs. Mark, our funny talks about Mr. Mark, and helping me in percussion. Mr. Dorenzo greeting me every day when I was being dropped off at school. Dr. Norton remembering me every year and interested in hearing on all my stories. Miss Walsh, our Hillary Clinton talks every day during public speaking, the speeches that I did. And Miss Ferguson helping me in creative writing. So I'm not really that much of a creative writer, so she really helped me with that. To my mentors, Jennifer Joyce from Fox 29. She was my first ever mentor. Miss Adamson actually introduced me to her. I just thank her for allowing me to sit in the van and go watch her put her pieces together. My good friend Tim Furlong from NBC 10, he talked to me about American, let me come to Delaware and sit in his news van and watch how they put all the pieces together. South Jersey reporter Sydney Long for believing in me, letting me come and talk to her at the band during stories. Congressman Andrews allowing me to interview you during your final days of office. Congressman Norcross giving me the opportunity to intern in your office and continuing to DC. Dr. Rushi, our Fleetwood Mac talks, interviewing you for the paper. Dr. Melange interviews, just being so welcoming at the board meetings. Jamie Michelle Simmons from NBC 10 allowing me to come in the studio and just answering any questions I had about the field of broadcasting. Nora Buchanan from Channel 6 letting me sit in the van, interviewing her, and coming up to the Trenton Bureau. Cherry Hill Police Chief Bud Monahan letting me come and interview for the West Report, getting stories from the police department and letting me interview you. And my counselor, Jim Newhouse, for listening to my stories all over my career and calming me down before tests and everything. Without all of your help, I'd never be where I am today. Thank you all for contributing to me over these years. I will never forget any of you. Thank you to my mom, grandma, grandpa, and Mrs. Clemens for believing in me, supporting me, and being my cheerleader. I'd like to end with a quote by an anonymous author. It reads, "The backbone of a good school is not made from fancy classrooms and large campuses. It is made from the excellent education prepared by teachers like you." Thank you.
Justin's pop-up. Just had a quick story. Although I take him to school almost every day, I almost never picked him up because I was working. But apparently on one of the days I had off, I picked him up from school, elementary school in Kilmer. It's probably about 3rd grade or so. He got in the car, we started driving down Chapel Avenue, and I said, "So what you learned today?" "Nothing." I said, "Nothing? You gotta be kidding me." I said, "I think we're gonna turn around and go see your teacher." So I started turning down the side street. He started having a fit in the back seat. Give me your phone, I'm calling grandma." At any rate, apparently he picked something up. Thanks to all your hard work, he's graduating high school, going to college, and we're just also very proud. Thanks again for all your hard work and support.
So I may have to take this in sections because it's really hard for me to speak. Believe that or not, being a teacher when you have to talk about your own child. But before I begin, I'd like to ask if everyone in this room could please pass over your SGOs and SGPs at the door over there today. And if you haven't done them, then you're all going to get twos today. I thought Dr. Norton would be here by now, and I was going to ask him if he wanted to take them home and grade them. But I'd really like to thank everyone for attending this brunch. Our family, but specifically Justin, kept trying to think of the best way to thank all of you, and this year it didn't really seem appropriate just to give out a small token of our appreciation. We really wanted to do something special to honor you. And again, this was Justin's idea from the get-go. When I asked him, what do you want to do for graduation party? He had talked to me, talked to my parents, and he said, I'd really like to thank my mentors and my teachers and my counselors. They've been such a special and huge part of my life. And I got permission to speak about this from Justin because most of you in this room realize that from pre-K on, Justin had what was called or identified as a social anxiety, but specifically to math anxiety with tests. So anything that had to do with the test, even if it was an area that he excelled in, the test he froze, which I had a little bit of myself, so I recognized it right away. We were blessed and fortunate not only to have all of you as teachers who didn't stick him in the back of the room or not believe in him. You believed in him, and that's why he's excelled and moved on. I also need to give a great thanks to June Newhouse over there in the beautiful red jacket. She was Justin's counselor outside of school, helped him through the social anxiety, the math anxiety piece as well, and worked with our family through a lot of years, and will probably be talking to us through Skype for many years to come. She doesn't know that yet, but so I can't thank everybody in this room enough. I remember when we knew there was something going on with him, and we were at Barkley. We went through all the tests and everything, and just coming from the district that I teach in, which is a very, as many of you know, is a very rough district to work in. I saw what happens to children who are identified. If it's just one subject, if it's for something small, even they just oh, okay, just kind of do this, and mislabeled, miss everything. And I remember having a conversation of, I want him to learn everything. The only issue that he really has is difficulty in math, and so do I. So we got wonderful people, and he was saying about Miss Taco Parker. Miss Parker has been with us since Kilmer. I think it's even longer than second or third grade. I think she's been pretty much with us from the get-go. And she doesn't know this, but she is going to college with him next. But, all these pieces add up to one big puzzle. You put all these pieces together in a room, and when we connect everything, it works. If you didn't work with me, or I didn't work with you, it wouldn't work. I truly believe that the piece of family and school are the most important thing in the world. If you don't have that missing link, it's just not going to work out. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, every single person in this room. I think from the whole time that I have been in Cherry Hill School District, that I've only had one issue, and but every other teacher in this room has made such a huge impact. And hopefully we'll all be able to meet back here in 4 years and have a wonderful career. Again, it was Justin's idea. We asked him what kind of party he wanted. He wanted to thank everybody. And he said, I just want a way to contribute and give back to everybody who's given to me their time and effort. I remember when Justin was having a really hard time with biology. I was just going to say science in general, but biology. Miss Tan, every day before Justin would get on the bus to go to swim practice, just come down before you leave and get on the bus, we're going to go over it. She gave her lunch up, she gave after school up, just so he could just get it. I can't thank her enough for that, for just taking that time. She didn't have to do that. Young teacher, brand new, took that time. Working closely with, even just, when he didn't have a teacher, they checked on him. I don't know how many of those people in this room know, but Mrs. Messias and I went to high school together. We traveled in different circles, but we knew each other. We were pretty much in the same homeroom together. But when my child came to West, and he's my only, and when you only have one, you worry, she just sent me the most beautiful email. I've got your back, I've got his back, and I'm watching. And that's all you need to know, is that somebody there that he can go to if he's having a rough day. He had come from Rosa, which we always called a little family. It was everybody knew everybody, and then to go to West. And I went to West, and I was real excited for him to go to West, but you still worry. So I am just so grateful for everybody that has crossed our path. As a fellow educator and a parent, I know how hard you all work. I know it's a thankless, tireless job. I know that you were going through a contract negotiation when we were going through a contract negotiation. We still don't have a contract. When I started in my career, I walked in and said, welcome to Willingboro, you're on strike. I'm leaving without a contract. I don't even know what my retirement money is. So I get it and I understand. So when you put that little extra in, that little extra time a day, you give up your lunch. I know what you're giving up. And I really, really, truly appreciate you giving your time. Justin comes from a long line of teachers. And so aside from the rules and the ethics that we already, plague our teacher child, the secrets that they're sworn to secrecy on, the conversations that they hear. If you are a teacher and you have a child, you know what I'm talking about, the teacher's child. They're into different conversations that they hear. And you tell them all the time, you are never to say that. So they're in the bond for good. And so he always had respect for teachers because of that. He heard the home teacher talk. He knew the pressures of when there's a behavior issue in the classroom. He knew that I expected him to be respectful at school. And I told him, there are going to be times that maybe the teacher will be wrong, very rarely. But come home and talk to me about it and we'll have a conversation. Never ever take it into your hands and be disrespectful. And so, that was the expectation. And I know that doesn't always happen in our classrooms. However, Justin never felt burdened because he genuinely loved his teachers every year. And that's, to have only one that I can think of and to have a record of 13 years of tremendous, outstanding teachers. I'm not just saying this because you are before me. We talk about you every night. You are our dinner conversation. I can't believe how many shoes Mrs. Cutler has. She changes them under her desk. She has another pair when she walks down the hall. But aside from that, Mrs. Cutler, what Justin said, I just kind of want to piggyback on a couple of things. There were times in Justin's world when I saw the turnaround, because never in a million years when he was in younger grade did I ever think that he was going to want to be a broadcasting journalist. Mrs. Cutler, when he was going to have her, he looped with her. She was doing this thing where the parents were going to come, the principal was going to come, they were going to do a report. I said, Karen, I don't know. He's going to be really nervous, he's going to be pulling on his skin, and he said, I just don't know if we should put him through that. She said to me, gave me a hug, and she said, do you trust me? And I said, absolutely. And she goes, I promise you, I'm not going to let him fall apart. So I see the principal walk towards the door, and Justin's eyes going like this, and now his face is red. And more parents are pouring in, and I'm looking at Karen like, I think we better just, and she's like, I got this. So it was Justin's turn, and he walked up, and I will never forget this. She just walked over, put her hand on his shoulder, and just stood with him. And all of a sudden, I just saw the whole demeanor change. Just the fact that she knew, just the fact that she put her hand on his shoulder, and just the fact that she said, I'm right here, just for her body language. He continued, and he did fine. He went through the whole thing, and he made it through. It's those things that really do make a difference that I don't think we see as educators. But that is something that never left him. And that's just one of the many, many stories throughout his whole journey. I can't tell you that there is a story for every one of you in my house that made him, go where he wanted to be. And I have always told him when he went to look at a college, you will know, it's like a female trying on her wedding gown. It's the perfect fit for you. When we went to American, I saw the face. I saw the body language. I knew. And then when he went to study there last summer, I thought to myself, this is it. I'm going to know whether he's going to like being away, if he really likes the city. The first couple of days, okay, this was great, I'm ready to come home. Second week, didn't hear from him. Had to call him. Remember me, Mom? And he made friends. He, met the department. He got in a group that loved Hillary. He was just, I think I was telling Mr. Farkas, he came and got me when I had to learn how to take the metro. He's got me and my parents pulling us through the metro station. Here, just give me the token. This is what you do. So I knew he was going to be okay. He loves American. He's made some wonderful friends already. He is going to major in broadcasting journalism with a minor in political science because, of course, George Stephanopoulos has to retire at some point. So he does want his job. And that being said, jokingly, George Stephanopoulos has been a wonderful mentor as well, because when you meet your idol, you often are afraid, what's going to happen? Are they going to be nice? But he just was so kind to him, invited him up for the town hall for Hillary Clinton. And I was going to say, as we all know in this room, Justin's a big Trump supporter. Not. But I thought that Mr. McGovern would have a heart attack if I said that. So, and then Justin got picked this year, his first year of to vote, is going to be a delegate for Hillary Clinton this year. And we just found out that he's the youngest delegate in New Jersey. So very proud of him. But I would be here a year if I went through everybody's name, so you will be hearing from me in the mail because I have a story for every one of you. I thank Mr. Vanny for taking Justin. Justin had gone through several different counselors, and we finally got Mr. Vanny and helped him so much with the college, getting the papers in on time, sitting down and answering Justin's questions, just like from the get-go, everything. Miss Adamson, I don't know, I think you're going to have to join the other side because he keeps coming in and saying, oh, gotta get those buttons to Miss Adamson. But, he loves every single one of you, and I just can't thank you all enough. It's been a wonderful journey. I hope we'll be back here in another 4 years and on a different journey, but from the newspaper, Mrs. Esposito, Mr. Redfern, Ms. Riley, I just can't thank all of you enough. The English department, the counseling department, the music department, the science department, math, Spanish. Everybody in this room has just been such a touching inspiration, and I can't thank you enough. And so I hope I've covered everybody, because I started out writing my speech down and I thought, I just have to speak from my heart. But when somebody takes your personal child and, cares for them, you're my friend for life. I'm going to join him in Washington, D.C. now.
Wow, you took all my good words. Justin, you have to come up here for this. And this is what I know. Real people from the real world. And that's what I'm here for. Justin brings in that attitude, that knowledge of what people are going through today. He brings a breath of fresh air to the office, and I think it's only fitting that for what he has done, not only for our office, but for the United States of America, that we present him with this congressional proclamation that talks about on May 22nd, his friends and family and community will gather to wish Justin well in the upcoming graduation, where Justin will graduate from Cherry Hill West. Now, here's the part where it gets sticky. My granddaughter goes to Cherry Hill West. He's keeping an eye on her. Because Poppy might get a little upset there if that gets out of hand. And he did. The editor-in-chief of the high school's newspaper and student representative to the mayor and council of Cherry Hill. And Justin is also known for his leadership in Cherry Hill West swim team and the Reserves Officers Training Corps. Whereas serving as an intern in my office, Justin has helped provide service and support to the citizens of the 1st Congressional District. And be it known, the undersigned member of the United States Congress, the Honorable Donald Norcross of the 1st Congressional District of New Jersey, hereby commends and honors Justin Gick for bringing pride to his community by demonstrating to all his true abilities in service and his civic pride. Congratulations. Tell me you're also going to be on the ballot. And he will be one of the youngest delegates to the Democratic National Convention. He will be on the ballot this year, so I'm putting a little plug in. Make sure you vote for him also. Congratulations.
for those who inspire us today, who always lend a helping hand to help show us the way. This song is for those who see their students through the tough times in their lives. For that we say thank you. You have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those who heard the silent cries, who stepped in to wipe the tears from the children's eyes. For those who gave us a safe place to grow, a place for us to call our home. Forever we will know that you have made a difference. You have shaped our minds.